Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable MUT coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today we are talking about the best cards to buy right now in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. If you are new to this series, what we try to do is we try to find cards where their value, how much they're going for, is beat by their production on the field. And there's going to be some expensive cards on here. There's going to be some, cheaper cards on here. It's kind of a nice variety, and there's a reason why you guys like this series so much, because I feel like it does provide a lot of value. And all I'm going to say is I think right now is a good time to be buying cards. I really do. The Super Bowl MVP could dip the market a little bit. So if you are watching this video after the Super Bowl, some of these cards could be a little bit cheaper. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen with the market. Unless some of the Super Bowl cards might actually go up because they might be needed for the MVP set. That's the only real thing. Outside of that, some of the cards I think are going to dip because there was a pretty good market drop after yesterday's or Thursday's content. Recording this on Friday. But yeah, of course, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications. We post daily Madden 24 content, gameplays, tier lists, videos just like this one. Just your one-stop shop for all your Madden 24 Ultimate Team content. Okay, we got a lot of names to get through today. Let's just get started here with the quarterbacks and Doug Williams. Doug Williams, one of the best buys in this game right now. I think he's the best quarterback in the game right now. I'm recording this before the Super Bowl MVP card. If it's probably going to be a quarterback, it probably will be. But Doug Williams, I think, is better than Mahomes. I think he's better than Ferdy. I think he's better than all the other Super Bowl cards that have come out, or quarterbacks that have come out, even better than McNair. McNair is also a good buy, but for the same exact price pretty much, I would rather have Doug Williams. I would rather have him. If you light him up, he's able to get real spooky. So Doug Williams, one of the best buys in the game right now. If you want to go a little bit cheaper, we got Jordan Love for 200K. Love his release, able to get Hot Route Master and set feet if that's what you want. If you just want Hot Route if you just want set feet, he's able to do that as well, discounted. 92 speed, so can move, can roll out with a good release, good accuracy stats, and even a pretty decent ball carrier. Next up, we got Andrew Luck, going down the price range a little bit. Andrew Luck still, his value, 100K, very low for this card. And if you don't need Hot Route Master, his production's actually really good. Does get set feet, has the same release as Doug Williams. Just a really solid card for 100K. Now, going to the running backs, this one might be a little bit weird because he's more on the expensive end, but I think this card's like a 1.5 million card based on how he plays. If this card came out today with these same exact stats, I think he's going for 1.5, 1.6. That's really how I feel. I think Peyton Hillis is the best running back in the game right now with angry runs for just 0 AP. It's so frustrating to face. He's so good. This card moves so well. He's basically perfectly maximized with his weight and his height and his juke animation and his angry runs, which is the kind of the cherry on top. He's one of the most broken abilities or X factors in the game right now. So Peyton Hillis for 600K, even cheaper on PlayStation, definitely a good buy in my opinion. Definitely a good buy. Next up we have CMC. This card's kind of weird because he is like free to upgrade and you kind of get him early, but you have to actually grind a little bit through solos in the Super Bowl field pass in order to get to the position where you're able to eventually spend. You are going to have to use a Super Bowl card. We'll go to Terrell Davis. We'll go Super Bowl. You could buy any of these Super Bowl champions, whichever one is the cheapest, which actually might even be Doug Williams. I think we're actually in the past right now. Past or present, doesn't matter. You got to put him into the set. Or you got to put him into Christian McCaffrey in order to get this card out of it, right? So Christian McCaffrey, he's a stud. And these are obviously his stats lit up, so he really has 96 speed if you don't use the lighted up X factor on him. But Christian McCaffrey, for how he moves, the abilities he's able to get, the potential that he gets -1 on his abilities, I think is a really good investment of your time and even your coins. Because you still got to buy a champion. He still costs the same as like Terrell Davis or one of the Super Bowl cards does. So Christian McCaffrey, really, really solid. We then have Mike Vick for about 400K right now. Card moves great, plays great. Able to get Energizer or yak him up if you want to invest some more AP into him. So Mike Vick, also a magnificent buy just based on how he moves. We then have for 200K, we have the Icky Shuffle, Icky Woods. 95 speed, 98 acceleration. This card moves really well, and if you're looking for a guy who you don't want to invest a lot of AP into and just kind of want to play solid, be a decent pass catcher, Icky Woods is definitely that guy at 231 at 6'2". Moving on, we got James Cook, 170K. This also could be Isaiah Pacheco. Both pretty equal and based on how they play and their price points right now, so both good pass catchers. Pacheco, I think, is a little bit more complete as far as like having power in his game as well. But I like James Cook's juke move a lot more than Isaiah Pacheco. That's why he's here. Then have Dre Archer for 100K too. Good value for his speed and acceleration. The carrying's a little bit scary, but throw conservative on or just kind of use your head and you should be okay with this card. Next up, Maurice Jones-Drew, 170K. Kind of went out of order there, but 5'7", 210. Really good stats. Really, really nice. This card does play like a kind of a bowling ball. When he hits a hole going full speed, can run routes. Even does get 1 AP evasive, which is kind of nice, or RB apprentice for 1 or even tank. So MJD for about 170, and his price continues to fall every single day, is also a pretty solid buy. We then have Bijan Robinson for 100K. The reason why he's here is because he does get freight train upgrade, which is obviously very good, and he's got a good build, a good juke move, and good speed still in this game. So Bijan for 100K, you know, his value for his production when that X Factor's lit up is crazy. We then have MVS, a more expensive card, but I think he's one of the best wideouts in the game. Potential for, again, if you want to use light it up on him, 97 speed, but 6'4", 3 thresholds. Great after the catch. This card is obviously going to end up being a stud for you at 6'4". We then have wide receiver Deion Sanders, 500K. Reason why he's here is because he does get this right here, the yak him up out of position Deion Sanders, which turns on, turns off. You know, it's on and off. Does also get return man pre-baked, so if you want a good kick return, that's going to break the first tackle. Pretty much every single time. Return man is pretty glitchy, honestly, this year, especially because you can't kind of pooch kick this year. But Deion Sanders is a very underrated card, and his price continues to fall every single day. Tyreek Hill. So I have a couple LTD wide receivers that I like. Obviously, the Redux is pretty much the same price, but if you can buy this Redux for 400K, you're not losing much value on the card, and he still has 95 speed. The card still moves well, still plays well. And if you throw a little 25-0 chill with him, that would be a W, which is not hard to build or expensive. Too expensive to build right now to try to get that little extra speed on Tyreek Hill. DJ Moore as well, going for under 400K. If you can get his LTD version, not his Redux, for this price, it's a really good buy. Also, same thing with Randy Moss. If you can get your hands on his LTD, not his Redux, it's good value because he's not gonna dip under basically what he's at right now. You're not gonna lose many coins if you want to use Randy Moss, and he's one of the best wideouts in the game right now. Also, Devin Hester, 300K. This card also does play crazy. Does also get return man for 0, jukebox for 1. Not the best discount abilities, or really. I mean, Route Tech AKA is actually pretty solid. But this card does play good for his value. I think he's definitely a good buy. Steve Largent as well, 280. He's just solid. You know, he's just solid. Not anything special, just solid. Rod Smith gets really good discounted abilities with wide receiver apprentice and slide-o-matic, and also 6 foot with good speed and good after the catch. I like Rod Smith on this list as well. Stephon Diggs for 100K. Also, we got Darius Hayward-Bay here too. And also Van Jefferson for 100 with 94 speed, 3 thresholds at 6'2". These guys are all really good buys, basically that 100K price point. For tight end, we got George Kittle. George Kittle can run block. George Kittle can run routes. He's got good speed. He's good after the catch. One of my favorite cards to be using in this game right now. Going for 270. Again, that value is very not as high as it really should be, in my opinion, for a guy that can do it all at the tight end position. And probably my favorite buy on this list is Rob Gronkowski for 170. He's down 15%. I don't know why, because of this ability right here. He basically turns your, like, if you use it the right way, he takes your run game to the next level. One of my favorite cards to use in the game right now is this Gronk card. Yes, he may not be crazy as a pass catcher or have crazy speed, but when the ball's in his hands in the flats, he's frustrating to tackle because he's so big. He has such good after the catch stats as far as power goes. But that run block with that Vanguard and the way he just kind of path finds and lays dudes on their back, pause, is low-key insane. On the offensive line, we got Taylor Decker. This also could have been, Whitworth could be up there depending on what your budget looks like, but I think the value is pretty good here, and you're not going to probably use any abilities on the O-line yet. And if you are, I guess Whitworth does get linchpin for 1, which is pretty nice. Left guard, we have Peter Skronsky, 180K. Creed Humphrey at center, 300K. Larry Allen for 180K. John Runyon for 280. And also all the blitz offensive linemen, I like those guys as well. I like sprinkling them in every once in a while. I think their stats are kind of starting to phase out a little bit, but I think sprinkling 1 or 2, kind of hiding them and using that speed to really help out your run game is there's still a lot of value in it. Getting started on defense, we have George Karlaftis, the LTD. People are probably going to roll their eyes at this one because Karlaftis is a limited time card. And when you're watching this, which I'm recording this on Friday, comes out Saturday, so his price might get back up to 800K. But I really do feel like, this is not going to happen. Karlaftis is not going to get 3.5+ sacks in the Super Bowl. If he does, good for you. You're gonna be a Super Bowl MVP, I think, with 3.5 sacks in the Super Bowl. Like, that's really how good you got to do. But this card, 94 speed, 90 acceleration, crazy power moves and finesse moves, perfect traits, good against the run, 97 hit power. If we head down here, has crazy ability discounts. Even when he's lit up, he's able to either get Colossus, which basically eviscerates double teams with like these crazy speed sheds, as well as Unstoppable Force for 1 AP. And you know how broken that ability is. You know how broken that ability is. So Karlaftis, 800k for one of the most broken defensive cards at his position in the game is pretty good. Also, left end, of course, we have Matabuke. If you only want to run one Unstoppable Force, just go buy Matabuke instead of going after George Karlaftis. If you want to run all of them, it's not a bad buy to buy Karlaftis and have Sap, Karlaftis, and Matabuke up front. It's not a bad play. Like, it's not bad for that price. I think his value and his production is pretty close as far as Karlaftis goes. Za'Darius Smith, no crazy X factors or abilities, but just a solid card. Really solid traits, and then you go down here, he's got power move, finesse move, all that stuff, hit power, size, speed, it's all there for Za'Darius Smith. Also left end, we got Will Anderson, kind of got a little more budget, good production, what production value, you know what I mean, it's all pretty much there for Will Anderson, and he should be getting a card soon with Defensive Rookie of the Year. Chase Young, this card, kind of the same as Karlaftis, 500k, for this card, he's able to get blitz for 1 AP potentially, edge threat elite, no outsiders, double or nothing, defensive rally, buy one, get one free for free. With these stats, 95 speed potentially, 96 if you light him up. And look at these traits here, man. High motor, yes. Bull rush, yes. Spin move, yes. Swim move, yes. And big hitter on, yes. Probably one of the best buys right now is this Chase Young card. This card, if he was an LTD, he'd be going for 1.5. Probably 1.2, because that's kind of what the LTDs are going for right now. But he's a very, very good card. Right end, Brian Burns for about 200k. He's not as good as Chase Young, but obviously he's cheaper. We then have Warren Sapp. Same thing. The best defensive tackle in the game right now is Warren Sapp. You could probably use this card up through, I don't even know how long you can use it. You can use this card for a while. Unless we start getting 0 AP Unstoppable Forces, Warren Sapp's going to be very relevant. His speed's crazy. The acceleration's crazy. The power move, the finesse move, the traits are all on yes. And yes, Unstoppable Force for 1 AP, which is just stupid. Vita Vea too, a little bit cheaper, but you kind of get what you pay for. A big body, run stopper with crazy run stop stats, and they even give him over 90 power moves, which is actually pretty nice. Young Carter, 90 there. Traits are, they're okay, good against the run, just good size, and obviously 91 acceleration is super, super nice. At left outside linebacker, we have Montez Sweat, 300k right now. Also, I mean, I was hoping this card would be a little bit cheaper, but if you can even get your hands on his, you can get your hands on this card, right? I mean, I guess 400k is not bad. You can get this card for about 400k. It's a pretty good buy with that speed and acceleration off the edge of the finesse move and the traits. They're okay. Traits are okay. Not perfect, but they're okay. We have Christian Harris, more of a middle linebacker user, but if you run 6'1", this guy is able to be a very good drop guy for you. 92 zones, was able to drop into the flats quick. Could also rush the passer with 92 finesse move. Traits aren't great, but it's the finesse move rating that won't kill his stamina. Also 93 acceleration and 95 speed with 0 AP lurk artist. Obviously very, very nice. Terrell Suggs, just pass rush this card. Don't drop him into coverage, but good weight, good speed, 90-90 with good traits as well. High motor also on yes. Very, very nice. Going to more of that side linebackers, more of a user is Harold Carmichael, 6'8". Can play man, can play zone, really good coverage stats, really good hands when being a wide receiver turned to linebacker, but still one of the best users in the game right now just because of his pure height at 6'8". It plays crazy when guys try throwing the ball over the middle, over your head. At middle linebacker, we got Ray Nitschke, the wild man, over 200k right now. Just crazy value on this card. I was trying to buy him a couple days ago. He was going for about 400. Now he's 200k, so a really good buy. Could even be a 6'1" drop guy for you, but can play zone and does get reinforcement right here for the AKA, which is obviously a lot of value there with free lurk artist as well. Also Devin White's here, 100k for a really good change direction user, and also does get 90-man coverage, which is pretty nice for about 100k. Another user here would be Keith Bullock, another 6'1" drop guy potentially, with over 90 man, over 90 zone, good press, decent hands, lurk artist, and is also able to get dual threat, avalanche for his AKAs, but lurk artist for free is crazy at 6'3", 235, and this card does move very well as a user. Staying at right outside linebacker, we have a pass rusher. This could be Lawrence Taylor or it could be Micah Parsons. I prefer LT, but both cards are great at this position. Obviously, you guys see the traits right here. Even clutch is on, big hitters on. Yes. Everything's beautiful. On Lawrence Taylor. Going to corners, we got Champ Bailey, 500K's LTD is slowly dropping as the days go, but regardless of what you run, this card's pretty good. I wish he had a deep out zone KO for the zone guys out there, but just based on how he plays, he needs to be in this video. He plays crazy. Herb Adderley, also a stud, probably much better because he is able to Get deep out zone KO, no discount, but mid zone, I probably would play him in the slot more. He's got good tackling stats. Does get deep zone KO though for 2, so he definitely does still fit that mold for the zone guys in this game right now. But Herb, crazy for his value. 500K for a guy that can tackle, play man, play zone, gets really good abilities too. Sign me up. Joshua Williams, this card's more for the man-to-man people, and he's get +2+ interceptions, which again isn't going to happen. It won't. I can guarantee that, but really good man discounts, and then also does get some pretty good lighted up X factors as well. So Joshua Williams, 6'3" with these stats. Yes, sir. Sign me up. For 200K, a little bit cheaper, we had Ken Riley, kind of a budget version of Herb Adderley because of his tackling ability and also man zone. Even does get some good X factors with medium route, pick artist, and does get inside shade there for the AK X factor. Again, more for man-to-man, but he's still great. If you're playing zone, here's a 200K option. Darius Slay, deep out zone KO for 2. With good size, good speed, good acceleration, good stats as well to back that up. Steven Nelson, again, more man-to-man, 5'11". Card's been playing great for me. 95 speed, plays amazing, jumps routes. It could be because I have 99 man coverage, but if you're not boosting your corners based on what you play more of, what are you doing right now? You should have all your strat cards good and locked up and ready to go. So Steven Nelson. Also, I probably wouldn't throw in, where is he? Is he cheaper than this? He's not an Cam Sutton, right? Cam Sutton, yeah, 400K. He's not a great buy. But they both play pretty similar. Now for 100K, we have basically all of the go/zero chill corners. Devin Hester, Charles Tillman, Tariq Woolen, and Rasul Douglas. They're all great buys. They're all still really good cards that can all still play. These are all really good buys right now for 100K. And if you're just getting started and you're able to get your hands on all 4 of these guys as your corners, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay. You put them in the right positions to make plays, and you're gonna be fine. I mean, that Ronnie Lott, in my opinion, the best free safety in the game right now. Can play man, can play zone, can do everything, has lighted up. Just a stud. Good against the run, can play corner too as secondary. So obviously a bit of a demon. And then Malik Hooker, kind of a slightly worse version of Ronnie Lott. And also, yeah, deep in zone KO here. And then he does get deep zone KO for 2 here. So that's every single deep zone he's getting KOs on. At strong safety, we have Jair Brown. And also, I should probably mention, at this position, we should actually mention, what's his name? What's his name? Shoot, what's his name? I'm gonna forget his name. I'm thinking of Reed, but I don't. Oh no, it is Reed. It is Reed. Reed is his name. Reed is his name, right? It's Reed. Justin Reed. Yeah, Justin Reed. Kind of the same as Christian McCaffrey, where you got to put in some of his stuff and upgrade him that way. But another very good card. Deep in zone KO, flat zone, flat zone, mid zone, pick artist. A really good card, and also a good mix of man and zone abilities. So really nice. So Justin Reed, and he's 6'1" with these stats. High man, high zone. I'm definitely grinding for this card right now, 100%. So Jair and Justin Reed both are great buys. We have Trip Palomalu. Kind of the same as, his stats aren't as good, but the abilities are really good. Kind of the same as earlier when we were talking about Peyton Hillis with his X Factor. But the fact he's able to get reinforcement for 3 AP on this card, which it stays on the whole entire game. Obviously, we're starting to get guys that are able to kind of get it for cheaper and it stays on the whole game. Like Jair Brown, by the way, who I didn't really talk too much about. But Jair Brown is actually able to get, if we go back, he's able to get reinforcement for 1 once he's lit up. And it stays on the whole game, which is pretty glitchy. So, and if you don't know what reinforcement does, it basically gives you no outsiders, inside stuff, run stopper, mid zone, short, flat zone, short route, mid route, whatever you're in, you're getting KOs, you're getting sheds. It's just super broken ability and super underrated on safeties. Bo Jackson as well, like this card for 340. Why not? Bo Jackson, 6'1", can play man, can play zone, can hit. Yeah, Bo Jackson's nice. Also does get some pretty decent abilities with, deep in zone, pick artist is free, things like that are just nice. Dante Whitner, this card right here, the AK, 94 speed. You're all going to want to play the KOs on this card, so make sure you're using the AK reinforcement as well as a deep in zone KO on the card. That's my suggestion. And finally, we got Ryan Neal for 170K, 200K, another really good buy. So that is going to do it for today's video. A bunch of really good buys right now in Ultimate Team, probably one of our longest lists we've seen so far doing this series. There's a lot of good value right now out there on the market. Just kind of watch the market with Super Bowl MVP, but I don't think much will change. One thing I will say is Ultimate Legends are coming out next weekend, so we'll kind of see what happens with that. Normally that first UL drop is special, so that could be another really good day to buy some of the cards in today's video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you didn't make it to the end of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.